we were alone on the sidewalk and we were like, are we doing this right?
We actually got honked at.
What's the game called that we
Cornhole.
played with? Cornhole.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it very much.
We a little bit felt like aliens.
Oh, true. In America are bears and snakes.
We saw someone open carry a gun. We're not used to that. That's just freaking me out.
Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016. And I just had my brother, Timo, and his girlfriend, Steffi, visit me for the last 10 days or 9 days. And Timo has been in the US a few times before.
It's my 5th time, actually.
And you've been in Cincinnati 1 time before this.
Yeah.
So this was your 2nd time in Cincinnati, 5th time in the US, and you are like pretty experienced. You've been on a road trip by yourself with like your friends.
I've seen a lot,
From Ohio to
Michigan to San Diego.
So literally from Ohio all the way to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then we've been on a few road trips with our family,
Yeah.
which was always like really cool, and we saw a lot of the country. But for you,
Yep.
it's your very first time in the US.
My first time.
Parts of what we did, of course, was sightseeing through Cincinnati. We went to UC campus. We went to Kings Island to the amusement park.
Yes.
We went out to the bars partying. We watched the Kentucky Derby, which happened to take place,
yeah.
not like live, but we
Yeah.
watched it on TV, which
Yeah.
was already an experience.
Yeah.
We went to a car show. Someone in Ben's family organized that, like tuned cars and vintage cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We went to get burgers. Well, we tried a bunch of different fast food
Yeah.
places, like Chick-fil-A, Freddy's, which I don't know if Freddy's is like nationwide, but it's a burger
think
place,
so, yeah.
a fast food place.
Panda Express.
Panda Express,
And then the
Wendy's.
Mexican food here.
Mexican food, yep, twice. Then they just tried Skyline and Geta and Grater's ice cream for a video. And then we just grilled out a lot, or cooked out. I always say grill out, but I guess it's not the right term. We cooked out, we grilled several times, and we're trying to do that again today. So we had like, just typical hot dogs. Well,
Hot
we
dogs
also
and
had hot
burgers.
dogs at the baseball game,
Yeah.
which that's another thing we did. We went to a baseball game, Reds game. We went to Topgolf, which is a really cool thing.
Yep.
Yeah, we went
And that was-
bowling.
We went bowling, we went to the movie theater.
Yeah,
We went to an outlet shopping mall.
important.
Yeah. And then we went hiking for
Yeah.
one night. We went to Red River Gorge, which is like 2 hours south of Cincinnati. Stayed at a cabin there for one night with like a fireplace and a hot tub, and it was really fun. Last night we watched the sunset at the river. I think that's all we did.
Yeah.
Pretty packed days.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we really experienced a lot. It was a nice
Yeah,
time.
it definitely feel more than 9 days.
Yeah.
I thought this would be a great time to ask you about your first impressions of this country. What are the biggest differences that you noticed?
There are a few. I think one big difference, I think it's you always go by car when you want to go somewhere. One time we go to a grocery store. It's about a 1 hour walk, and we saw nobody.
Oh yeah, you guys walked.
Yeah, we actually got honked at one time.
Yeah.
Okay, and now everyone's wondering, why did you let them walk? Well, because, we did a bunch of stuff together, and there was like one day when Ben and I kind of had to work, and they were like, well, we would like to go to Target just by ourselves, and we would like to walk because it was beautiful weather, and we all enjoy walking. Like, it's something that we do for fun. So they were like, well, it's only like an hour by foot, so they walked there. And I mean, you had a decent experience, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like unsafe or anything.
Not at
No,
all, yeah.
not unsafe or something. It's just we were alone
Yeah.
on the sidewalk, and we were like, are we doing this right?
We a little bit felt like aliens.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but it was all right. I mean, we arrived there and had a great time.
And then I came and picked you guys up with the car.
That's true.
Yeah, that was good.
So yeah, the walking or not walking, the driving is
Yeah.
one big difference for sure.
And the cars by themselves, I mean, there are always trucks. It's unusual to see a normal car like we have in Germany.
Yeah.
And I think the cars are, I don't know if they would be allowed to.
Some of them.
Some of them we saw and were like, okay, I don't think I would see that in Germany.
Like in terms of a big truck or the beat up cars that are
Beat up
broken?
cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. You call them beaters in American English. Like
Okay,
they're
yeah.
literally like cars that don't have the bumper anymore, that
Yeah.
are missing part on the side, that
Yeah.
have a broken door. Yep.
Which kind of smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw some quite crazy cars.
Yeah. Before Steffi and Timo talk a little bit more about their experience with American bars, their first American baseball game, and seeing a person open carry a gun, I wanted to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Blinkist. Blinkist is the perfect app for everyone who loves reading books and learning more about a certain topic, but doesn't always have the time or patience to read the whole 500 pages. So Blinkist tells you about the most important takeaways of a book in just 15 minutes. Like, if you want to understand the US and the culture here even better, you could check out this book about common American myths, or I was really fascinated by this book called Songs of America that talks about the music that has shaped American history. It was literally written by the award-winning author Jim Meacham and the famous country singer Tim McGraw.
In the late 1960s, Brown and Franklin were important cultural icons. Brown innovatively fused gospel influences with rhythm and blues, culminating in a potent vision of Black empowerment and self-reliance. Equally, with her song Chain of Fools, Aretha Franklin seemed to offer a rebuke to the horrors of Vietnam.
As you can see, there are 7 key ideas from the book bundled in so-called blinks that you can either read or listen to, which is great because you can just do that while you cook or get ready in the morning or even at the grocery store. Blinkist has over 6,600 nonfiction books and podcasts available, and with their new feature, Spaces, you can now even add, share, and recommend titles from the Blinkist library to your friends and family. I always do this with Ben whenever I come across a title that relates to something we've been talking about, such as Atomic Habits, or since Ben is a huge Disney fan and has even worked at Disney World, I saved this book for him called The Ride of a Lifetime: Lessons Learned from 15 Years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. If you want to check out Blinkist yourself, just click on my link in the info box below and test it 7 days for free. And after that, my link will get you a 25% discount on the annual premium subscription.
One positive thing I noticed was we were walked by the river and we got thirsty, and then we go to a restaurant and ask for water, and that was all. I mean, we got water to go, and they were so nice, and yeah, sure, we make you some ice, I want
some
you...
tap water,
and then we went.
We just left, yeah.
We just left, and we were like, I were like, okay, in Germany, I don't know,
just wouldn't be able to get free water from a restaurant if you don't pay there. You don't even get free water in Germany if you pay at the restaurant. But yeah, basically what it was, we walked by the river, and this was Moorline Brewery and Restaurant, and we just walked in there and we used the toilet also, we used the bathroom. And then we walked up to the bar and just asked if they had any free water. Because I mean, that's a thing that you can do in the US. You can ask for free water, and he gave us these huge cups of water.
With ice.
Yeah, iced water. And it was no problem. He asked where we're from and what we're doing, and it was all friendly. And then we just grabbed it for free and walked out.
In Germany, they would like be, okay, no orderings, no food, and sorry.
Yeah, basically, if you're not a customer, you don't get to often not even use the bathroom at the place. So it's definitely different.
One other thing I noticed was the skyline of Cincinnati. I mean, it's not one of the biggest cities in America, but the skyline is so impressive. I mean, in Germany, I don't know, maybe Frankfurt has a skyline that's kind of like that, but I mean, in Munich, we don't have a skyline like that.
It's not technically allowed. Like, there's regulations that everything has to be built low so that you can still see the historical buildings and stuff like that. It's just not something that German cities do that much.
No.
So I mean, Cincinnati, technically, if you just take the city of Cincinnati, has like 300,000 people living here. Munich has 1.5 million. And
that's
when
crazy.
You go downtown to the skyline, I agree, it feels like a much bigger city.
Totally.
One thing that I know you also mentioned the other day, because we went out to the bars 2 nights, like Friday night and Saturday night, and I know you said that was pretty different.
Yeah, we saw many people just in their cars and making music there for the people on the street.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
That's nothing I would see in Germany. You don't pay for the entrance when you go into the clubs. That's not a usual thing.
At least Germany. Here in Cincinnati. If you go out in New York City or Chicago, it might be a different thing. But I mean, we went to a lot of bars that aren't technically clubs, where it's just like a bar.
Okay.
But it's still, in Germany, if you go to a bar, you don't necessarily have that same atmosphere, I feel like. Like here, we went to a few bars where it felt more like a club, right? And we didn't have to pay a cover charge.
I mean, there was also live music. And people were dancing, and that's more like a club thing in Munich or in Germany at all.
Yeah, I think the music was maybe a little bit surprising that was played.
And the last one they were like one song from this genre. And we were like electronic music. Then it was like country. Yeah, it was like every time another song came up, we were like, okay, I don't know how to dance to this one, but let's try. So but it was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you think, Timo? Because I don't know if you've been to that many bars before in the US.
Actually, it was like the first time where actually was 21 and we were not like going with our dad. I mean, last time we went to the bars once. I think we went
from my graduation in 2019.
Going dancing and stuff. It was actually the first time. And it was pretty nice. I like the whole bars and dance floor thing. We have that too in Munich, but if a bar has that, there's definitely a fee to get into. And I like it's far more easier to go through the bars. So have a drink here, have a drink there. And they're also not that packed because there's enough space. So, I mean, if you would go out in Munich and go to the coolest bars, most of the time you wouldn't really get into there, or it would just be too crowded.
I mean, that's definitely also a thing. The drinkery, for example, they didn't let us in anymore because they were, I think, packed. But in general, you're definitely right. There's more space. I know you also really like the games. Right?
Oh yeah, that was cool. I mean, the arcades it's a cool mix when you got to party and drink, and then are also activities.
Yeah, I
like
love that.
What's the game called that we
Cornhole.
played with? Cornhole.
Oh yeah,
I liked it very much.
There was some cornhole at the one bar. We went to Rosedale, which is like an outdoor bar, and they had cornhole there. And then we went to Level 1. Used to be 16-bit, but it's like an arcade bar. So we played like Pac-Man and Skee-Ball.
That was cool.
And pinball and all of that. And I know afterwards you were like, oh, it's so cool that there's always games at the bars.
I mean, I love playing and like, going drinking and always have games. It's nice. It's really, I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so that was all a bunch of positive things. Now, of course, Germans like to criticize things too. And there's always, depending on where you go, there's always things that are negative. So what are some of the more negative things that you noticed?
Like when we want to go for a walk, we noticed that it's not you go outside and there is a park and there are a lot of greens and you kind of like you have to drive by car like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you're like in the green. And one thing we noticed too, where like we once go to a park and there were no people. It was completely empty, and I mean it was nice because you have your space. But in Germany, when there is good weather, everybody's outside, everybody's in parks with their family, and I think it's not that a thing here.
Not as much. And we had beautiful weather these last 9 days. So like it was literally sunny, blue skies, warm, really, really nice. Not too hot either. It wasn't like where people didn't go outside because it was too hot. It was perfect temperature. And still, we were, Devou Park was the one where we were alone. We went like to the riverfront. And even last night we watched the sunset down on the Kentucky side of the river. We were the only ones. And it was beautiful weather.
It was perfect.
Okay, anything else?
When you go through the city, one thing I noticed too was like you notice more the difference in poorer areas and where people like more
wealthy.
Because the houses are so small and a little bit wrecked. It's one area where are more poor people live, and then you go like 10-20 minutes and then it's whoa, okay, these are big houses. And I mean, in Germany, there are also areas where, the houses are cheaper, but I think here it was like more, I noticed more the difference when I go through the areas.
Like a bigger, basically, gap between poverty and rich people, and also it's more visible.
I think it's more visible.
I mean,
definitely.
we know based on statistics that there is a bigger gap in the US also, so that is a thing. There's just the wealthy are very wealthy, and the poor people are very poor in this country. But yeah, I would agree that it's also more visible. Partly also because it's more common to live in your own house. So you can see that more. If people live in an apartment complex in Germany, they're poor, you can't see into their apartment. So you don't see if it's messy in there or
the
dirty.
gardens.
Totally.
You can't tell from the outside. But here you can tell because, some people have these very small houses. Because that's like a thing. Almost in Germany, when you're poor, there's no way you would have your own house. But here, it's, to a lot of people, it's cheaper to have their own house than live in an apartment complex. So then you can just see the difference in how the house looks from the outside. Was there anything else that you noticed this time, Timo, that was new to you? Any new first impressions? Because I know we did a few things that you didn't do before.
I mean, one thing we did is we went to a Reds game here.
Yeah, baseball game,
I mean, I'm a very big soccer fan, so I know like stadium experience. And for me, it's very interesting to compare like stadium experience. And I mean, it was a perfect day. The Reds won. We had very nice seats and stuff. And it was just very, very cool. The atmosphere. I think that the like fan culture is a little bit different. I know that you kind of did a video about that once.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah. In general, the whole atmosphere was nice. People were enjoying themselves, and the game was there, but we would also like go and grab something to eat and walk around a bit, and there was other like entertainment other than the game.
True,
which is fun. So I really loved that, and I really like the whole American sporting experience. In the end, I mean, as I said, they won, so it was very cool. And I got the catch the ball.
Yeah, not
so
the real baseball.
No foul ball, just in the end where they threw in some gum balls.
Yeah, like merch balls. Like the squeezy ones. But at least, you got one. Not everyone got one.
That's nice. So
that was cool. Yeah, in terms of other entertainment, like you mean the stuff that they do in the breaks? Like the little games that they do, the kiss cam and stuff like that.
I mean, they do that too a bit in Germany, but it's a little bit more boring, I'd say. So those kind of things is cooler.
Yeah.
Definitely would say that. And the atmosphere is different, and it was a little bit more cozy, I'd say. I mean, in the baseball game, it also was not completely like sold out and stuff. But for me, it was a very nice experience.
I've never even been to an NFL game. I've been to college football games, so I can't really compare the baseball experience to like NFL. But I know that the baseball games are known for being more chill because they're longer and people kind of like, as you said, they walk in and out. They go get something to eat. You walk back. It's not like you're just glued to the field the whole time. I don't know if it's the same for football, honestly. I think a little bit, but I don't think as much. What else was something that you noticed this time?
This time, one thing I really noticed, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and stuff, I'm a bit felt in situations more unsafe as I would in Germany. Parts when we just walk through the city and we would like take maybe a wrong turn and end up in the wrong neighborhood. And I mean, nothing happened at all, but just like having in mind that people might have guns. And then we had this one situation where we went just into a gas station and we saw someone having open carry a gun. And I mean, we're not used to that. That's just freaking me out. So
And he walked in right before us, and Ben pointed it out. So this was in Kentucky. We went to Red River Gorge for one night for hiking and stuff like that. And so that was a gas station kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit, and it's allowed. This person is allowed to have a gun, and so he just walked in right before us. And I think Ben said, "Oh, he just had a gun," and we all felt like, even myself, because I'm not even that used to that. Even I felt like, oh. Like, should we wait until he leaves the store? Because it's weird to be in a store. For us, I think it's weird. Be in a closed, small space where you know someone else has a gun.
And you don't know this person, and it's not a police officer or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, nothing happened, of course, but here we're alive. Everything was fine. But I agree. That felt
just
weird.
The feeling I had.
In terms of hiking, when we drive to the hiking spot, you said, and in the situation when we see bears, when it's a dark
black bear,
then we should make sounds and make us huge. And I was like, oh, true. In America are bears and snakes and all that stuff. And in Germany we had kind of boring wildlife when it comes to dangerous animals, and I was like, okay, it was a little bit nervous, but it was fine.
We did end up not seeing a bear this time around. I've seen bears a few times, but we saw a snake.
It was pretty huge. It was like...
Yeah, it was a little bit scary.
Yeah, we all got kind of scared because it came out of nowhere. We were all like, oh my God. And we turned around at that point. We were like, okay, because this was one of the trails where we were kind of lost a little bit. Not lost in the sense of we didn't know our way back, but it wasn't the trail that we thought it was. So we were like, I don't think this is the right way. Yeah. So we were like, and this seems like it's going pretty deep into the forest. Maybe we should turn around. And I don't know if we feel so safe here. And then as soon as we turned around, the snake came. And we were like, okay, yep, we better go back.
That's a sign. We should go.
But I told you guys, just in case, because there are black bears where we hiked. But I think I've never even seen a bear at the Gorge in Kentucky, but I have seen several bears in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But I know there are bears at the Gorge. And I said, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night. That's something that I've been taught several times by the locals. I've never been in the situation where we had to fight a bear. It's just like you see a black bear somewhere like across the street or somewhere a little bit away in the forest. And then we also had some wildlife encounters here at my house.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are animals that don't exist in Germany. Do we have raccoons in Germany?
I don't think so. I mean, I have never seen one.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had a raccoon and a possum.
And
I mean, they're just bigger. What we would have in Germany is maybe like rats and mouses, maybe like a fox if you're a little bit on the countryside.
Yeah.
But
fox are really nice too. They're kind of cute.
So no possums, like big rats and raccoons where you just have to watch out when you go out of your house. I mean,
it's not like they're all around our house, but it just so happened that while you guys were here, one time we had a raccoon on the porch and one time there was a possum on the porch.
And that never happened in Germany. We might have like a hedgehog or something like that.
Eagle,
I mean, it was
or like a marder, like a weasel,
Yeah, it was the same situation as we had in our parents' house when we had a cat and we would feed her outside, that a hedgehog would come and eat her food, but here it would be raccoons and possums and stuff. So,
I should explain. We have this neighborhood cat that Ben and I kind of feed on our porch. She's not technically our cat and she doesn't come into the house, but she kind of lives on our porch and we love her. And so that's why these animals come to our porch, because we have the cat food out there. Maybe not the smartest move, but it's kind of hard to avoid because we want the cat to be fed. And it doesn't happen that often. It was really a coincidence that it happened now. I think the last time we had a possum there was like a few months ago. A couple months ago. So, and I don't even think we've ever had a raccoon up there. They usually go through the trash and stuff like that. Okay, that was already a lot of different points. I mean, I have a whole YouTube channel about cultural differences, so I know that there's a lot to talk about. But before we wrap it up, is there anything else that comes to mind?
Maybe one thing is that when you were outside and want to go out, want to eat outside, you can't really find a place where it's all healthy food. I mean, there are some...
You mean like on a road trip? Like when you're... Okay.
Yeah, when you don't eat at home, so in restaurants and on the driveway. I mean, there are all fast food restaurants, like you said, Wendy's, blah, 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 all that stuff.
McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, there's so many.
Yeah, and I eat meat, so I can eat the fast food stuff, but I don't want to eat meat every single day. And that was kind of hard to find maybe just a salad without meat or... vegetables and something like that. When we went to Chick-fil-A, I ordered the market salad without the chicken. Like, you can do it sometimes, but it's not the easiest compared to Germany, for example, when you're on the road. And then you don't want to eat salad all the time when you want to eat vegetarian. So then you can eat fries. And that's not that healthy too. So that was one thing I noticed. That's true. I agree with that. That's something that I complain about a lot too. And of course, this is depending on where you are in the US. If you're on the East Coast, West Coast, you'll have a lot more options usually, especially like in the city. I mean, like if you go through Cincinnati, like downtown, you can definitely find healthy foods. That's no question. But once you're just somewhere like, on a road trip, like we went to Kentucky and you just need something like a snack, or we wanted to buy something for hiking, we wanted to buy sandwiches at the gas station, there's just
not that many options, especially for vegetarians, or if you just want to have something without meat.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the case that we didn't eat the most healthy in the last 9
Yeah,
days.
that's true.
We ate a lot of junk food.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to experience like the different restaurants and stuff, so we didn't really have a chance. Then when you go to Wendy's and stuff, you also want to have the burger.
Of course.
And, so,
I mean, it was really good, but you must eat burgers and but I'm glad that we did, but I'm glad too when we are in Germany that
eat healthy again. I totally understand that. All right, thank you guys so much for sharing your views and impressions and experiences from the last 9 days. If you guys have any follow-up questions or comments on what they said, let us know in the comments below. It was really nice to have you on my channel, Steffi, for the first time, and to have Timo back.
Always a pleasure.
Nice. Yeah, maybe next time I'm in Germany we can record some more. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You can hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel for free, and you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And thank you to Blinkist for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check out the link below to subscribe and get a 25% discount. And with that, I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!
Cheers!